What's good, YouTube? It's a quest of Earth and prophecy, and I have a little bit of issue. Uh, you know, now to me, um, and this is just my opinion. You know, um, I don't think LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I just don't think so. Because when you look at some of the greats that have played this game, you know what I'm saying, that was blessed and fortunate to play this beautiful game called basketball. LeBron James strikes me as a guy that don't know how to play basketball. You know, um, him dunking and blocking shots and making these ridiculous, floaters and these difficult back down and fadeaway shots doesn't make you a great basketball player. What makes you a great basketball player is knowing your strengths versus your weakness, knowing what you're good at versus knowing what you're not good at. And LeBron James, for some apparent reason, do not understand that logic. Now, obviously, LeBron James, to me, when I see him play basketball, I ask myself, who taught LeBron James how to play basketball? Now, obviously, his game is basically he has to have the ball in his hands. And some of the greats, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Hakeem, Larry, Bird, they didn't necessarily have the ball in their hand a lot because they knew that they had to affect the game both ways. Now, what I mean by affecting the game both ways, I mean by doing things that nobody else is going to do. Like being the trash man of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron James is not going to be that guy. He needs the ball in his hand 80% of the time. Because when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers, his ball was in his hands a lot. Obviously he was a first round pick. There was nobody on that team that was going to say no to him. You know what I'm saying? There was not that second superstar that he had to, take a back seat to. He was the man of that Cavaliers team. You know, he spent majority of his career there. Around 2010, he went to Miami Heat. The ball wasn't in his hands that whole entire time. And when the ball wasn't in his hands the whole entire time, he didn't know what to do with himself. He struggled, you know? He struggled because he was so used to having the ball in his hand a lot. When you play off ball, you're supposed to do something besides, like, you're supposed to basically play off the ball. Like, you're supposed to block, defend, do something, you know? Like, LeBron James, like, I say this, if LeBron James would have went to college, I think he would have been a more polished player, you know? Like Michael Jordan can break you down physically and mentally. Allen Iverson can break you down physically and mentally. Kobe Bryant can break you down physically and mentally. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, they both can break you down physically and mentally. LeBron James always had that striking, that image where he can't break nobody down physically and mentally because he didn't necessarily have the coaching. If you look at LeBron James' career, he never had a top head coach. What, Steve Blatch? Larry Brown? No, not Larry Brown. Damn, I forgot the head coach, the dude with the glasses. I forgot his name. His first tender with the Cavaliers. You had him. You had Larry Batch. You had Blatch. You had Ty Lue. You had Eric Spoelstra. I think Eric Spoelstra was probably LeBron James' best head coach. To be honest with you, he went back to Cleveland. Ty Lue was there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a little wishy washy. Like I think that if LeBron James went to college, had like a full 4 years or a full 2 years, it would have bettered him because they would have taught him how to play off the ball. They would have taught him the basics of basketball. Now I'm not saying that he's a great player. I'm not saying that he's not a great player, but it's just his style of play is just so awkward and so weird, you know? Like like he doesn't play within his strengths. Like he doesn't play like a power forward. You know, he plays like somebody who don't know the game of basketball, and this might piss off a lot of people, but that's what I see when I see LeBron James. You know, like when you compare Kevin Garnett, who's also a power forward, when you compare him to LeBron James, they play different. They play different. Now, obviously, the same thing with Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett never went to college. He came straight out of high school. Kobe Bryant came straight out of high school. You know what I'm saying? But at least those players had teachers to teach them or coaches to teach them how to play the right way. LeBron James never had that in St. Mary's, St. Joseph, St. Mary's, whatever, what school he went to, St. Mary's Irish, whatever. Like the coaches there never taught him how to play basketball, like textbook basketball. You know, that's why he gets a lot of flack. Oh, he's not a cold blood killer. He's not this. He's not that. Like I get the same way when I watch James Harden, and James Harden went to college. Again, James Harden strikes me as a guy who doesn't know how to play basketball, and you can't win like that. The style of play like the style of play that James Harden and LeBron James play is just it's just so annoying and awkward, you know. But when you watch a Larry Bird, a Magic Johnson, a Michael Jordan, and Allen Iverson, a Kobe Bryant play, it's smooth. You can understand the game, you know, because they play within their strengths. LeBron James and James Harden do not play within their strengths, if that makes sense to y'all. So that's what I wanted to say. Um, and I mean, I'm not even gonna go by the teammates. I'm just gonna go by the coaches. Like LeBron James had Eric Spoelstra, and that was his best coach in a while. You know, um, I mean, it's just what it is. There's a lot of videos saying that what if LeBron James went to college? Would he be a different player, or would he still be the same player? I would say those 4 years of college changes you. It changes you in a way to where you understand the game more. You know how to play the game more. You know? Like when I see LeBron James, he just dribbles, 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 asks for the ball, does his little fancy dancy moves and just strikes to the rim and does a dunk or layup. That's not playing basketball. Like LeBron James to me, he acts like a 5-year-old playing basketball. That's what I see when I see LeBron James. I see a 13, 15, 17-year-old playing basketball. When you watch Michael Jordan play, you see smoothness, you see footwork, you see all of this. You see perfect jump shots. That's not LeBron James. LeBron James don't know how to play off the ball. He demands the ball a lot, and that's why most of the players don't want to play with him. Booker. He tried to get Booker. No, Booker didn't even want to play with him. He tried to get Damian Leonard. Damian Lillard didn't want to play with him. You know, he tried to get AD. We all know AD is a ring chaser. You know, like we all know he was not AD was not going to win a championship in New Orleans anytime soon. He was going to waste his prime there. You know what I'm saying? Wait until he gets like 27, 28, 29 years old and then win a championship. He won the exact same year. The exact same age Anthony Davis is the exact same age that LeBron James won his first championship at age 27. You know what I'm saying? So you can't ridicule him and you can't be mad at AD for leaving because he's an unrestricted free agent. What, you want him to resign for another 5 years and waste his prime there? And then y'all gonna be bitching, complaining about, oh, he should have went to the Heat, or he should have went this and should have went that. Now he's gonna known as a stat pattern and all this bull crap. Now that he made the move, you can't blame him. Cause y'all would have probably done the same that y'all would have probably done the exact same thing LeBron James did. Same thing with LeBron. If LeBron would have re-signed with Cleveland in 2010, LeBron James would have never sniffed the championship. And I put that on everything I love. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll never win a championship. Maybe he would have done it when they drafted Kyrie around 2011, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but he made the move. He wanted he wanted that ring. And everybody want to blame LeBron James for starting the dream team or starting these super teams. I mean, he is the found father of it, though. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't the first one. You know what I'm saying? If you go all the way back to the Lakers when they had, Elgin Baylor and, when they had all those great talent, they had Akeem and they had a I mean, they had Jabbar and they had, Magic Johnson, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So they had players, they had players. They had Elgin Baylor. So they had players. So this is way before LeBron James started super teams, you know? The Lakers are the founding fathers of forming super teams. You know what I'm saying? So people just need to do their homework before bashing LeBron James. Like he wasn't the first one to do it. And it sure isn't going to be the last. And I hope to God that this is the last time we've seen super teams. You know, I'm just sick and tired of it. But, like I said, man, I just wanted to talk about, that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm not saying that LeBron James can't play the game of basketball, but to me, when I see him play, it's like my 5 year old is it's like my 6 year old son playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not a great dribbler, he's not a great shooter. So again, and teams take advantage of that. Like he's all muscle, no skill. That's what I call him. All muscle, no skill. He has all the muscles in the world, but no skill. Maybe it's those PEDs kicking in. I don't fucking know. But I just wanted to let y'all know that if LeBron James would have went to college, would it make him a better player? Would he understand the game from a championship perspective? Because like I said, some of the greats didn't need the ball in their hands. You think Michael Jordan needed the ball in his hands a lot? No. You think Allen Iverson needed the ball in his hands a lot? No. Kobe? No. They learned how to play the game two ways. You know? LeBron James only knows how to play the game one way, and that's the ball in his hand 80% of the time. You know? At least he knows how to play defense. I'm not saying that he doesn't know how to play defense, but he just doesn't know how to play off the ball. And as a basketball player, you gotta learn that fast, you know? Because if you're only known to affect the ball, if you like if you're only known to affect the ball one way, you can be a liability on defense. You're gonna be like James Harden, because James Harden don't play a lick of defense. So that's why teams key on. That's why teams key on that. That's why teams key on him on defense in the playoffs, because he'll teams in the regular season will let him go 0 to 100. You know, but as soon as playoff comes, as soon as playoff time comes, it cramps down. It shrinks. Why? Because they key in on him. They play more aggressively. They play defense. They don't allow James Harden to go to the paint that often. So he has to settle for jumpers or threes. But in a regular season, he can go 0 to 100. But in the playoffs, you see, year after year after year after year after year, he shrinks. Now, if you knew how to play both ends of the ball, he would have probably been nice. You know, he would have probably been fun to watch. But since he's just one-minded, you know, he's not a two-way player. He's just focused on defense too much. I mean, on offense too much. It shows. Same thing with Carmelo Anthony. Melo, all he knows is just scoring. If he played defense like he plays offense, who knows how far it would have taken him, you know? But, you know, I mean, same thing with Tracy, you know? So, I just wanted to let y'all, you know, say what y'all want to say. Do you agree with me? Should LeBron James went to college or no? Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.